Whether the roof is 10 years, 5 years, or 20 years, anytime you start to see an accumulation of granules in the gutters, it's time to call somebody and at least get that roof inspected. Everybody's got their own way of doing it, but the only right way is according to what the manufacturer specifies. And that can be found on the back of the bundles of shingles. They tell you exactly how they want that roof laid and what products they want laid with it. And if it's not followed to a T, it voids the manufacturer's warranty altogether. So there's the wrong way and then the manufacturer's way. It's got to be installed due to manufacturer specifications, yes. Tar and caulk is not something that we recommend. It's a quick fix. You know, it'll get you through that storm or through whatever that's coming through. But like I said, it's temporary. It's a Band-Aid. It's definitely something that you need to get looked at as soon as possible. Yeah, lifted shingles, broken tabs, hail damage, anything that's going to mess with the structural integrity of your roof is always something that you should get looked at immediately, just so you don't have anything leaking. And the longer you wait, the more damage you cause. For instance, your chimney. If it's not flashed properly, and you get a water buildup behind it, it's going to rot out the wood around the chimney. It's going to run down your rafters and create bigger problems. So that's definitely something where if you start to notice it, you got to get it looked at and get it fixed as quick as possible to save yourself some money. Anytime we're doing a roof, I always tear it off down to the decking. I don't like doing roof overs. The biggest reason is the manufacturer won't stand behind the roof over. With any manufacturer going, you've got to tear the shingles all the way off to the decking and then go from there. That's my biggest reason as to why I don't like doing roof overs. It will affect the life of the shingles due to the fact that when you put a second layer of shingles down on top of a pre-existing layer of shingles, the pre-existing is actually going to bake the new layer of shingles. And you're not going to get the life out of it that you would if you had done it correctly the first time. Not only that, if your attic's not ventilated properly, it's going to cause some problems having 2 layers on your roof. It's going to deteriorate and rot the rafters and the beams and the joists a lot quicker than it should. The only reasons that an insurance company will replace a roof is wind and hail damage. You may have a tree that falls on your home or a big storm that comes through to cause a catastrophe, but the 2 biggest payouts on the insurance company to get a new roof is either wind or hail damage. And unless you have missing shingles off your home, finding that storm damage is going to be hard from the ground. So it's always good to call your local roofing professional and get a free inspection, see if they can't find anything that qualifies for a new roof replacement. At the point in time the damage is identified as either wind or hail damage, we assess everything, we pull our Eagle views, which are satellite images of the house. We go ahead and get everything in line and in order for the insurance company. And then once that's done, we advise the homeowner to go ahead and file their claim. We've got all our paperwork ready. We meet the adjuster out there, we walk the roof, we show him the damage, we give him the estimated cost to fix or replace everything, and then we go from there. With insurance companies, it is a business, and the only way they stay afloat is they gotta bring in more in premiums than they give out in claims. So it's always just good to have somebody in your corner that knows the ins and outs of the insurance side and what they're responsible for and what they're not responsible for as far as replacement goes. No matter what the insurance company is trying to pay out, you should always get a local roofing professional involved. Let him look at the scope of work, let him price the job. Not that the insurance company may be trying to do anything fishy. I mean, after all, adjusters are human and things are left off the scope of work on accident. things are overlooked. It's always good to have a second eye to go over everything and just look at it to make sure you're getting taken care of. No, not at all. As long as the home that's being sold has kept its policy up to date with this homeowner's insurance, whether the roof is old or not, if it's got damage on it that's related to storm, the homeowner's insurance policy is required to replace that roof at the cost of the seller's deductible or the policyholder's deductible. So just because you like a house that's got an older roof, you shouldn't necessarily shy away from it. Get it inspected. That roof may qualify for a free replacement at the cost of the seller's deductible. It all depends on the type of shingle. You can go with a 3-tab that are warranted for about 25 to 30 years, but typically they start to wear and show damage anywhere between 10 and 15 years. Whereas architectural shingles, there's 30-year, 40-year, 50-year, and even limited lifetime architectural shingles. It all depends on what your taste is and your budget. And what you'd like to see on your roof and the products and the system that you put behind your roof. What to be on the lookout for when you're buying a home with an old roof. Just get it inspected, see if there's granules in the gutters. Walk the property to see if you can find any missing tabs missing off the roof. The color of it will also give you an indication of how old it is. Typically, shingles don't start to grow algae and turn a darker color until about anywhere between 10 and 15 years. So the color of your roof can also give you a time frame as far as how old it is and how long ago it was put on. You know, if your roof is covered in black algae streaks, it's definitely growing moss. It's deteriorating and decaying over a period of time. That roof, in a way, is actually feeding the moss nutrients to grow. You've got algae growing on top of your roof. Algae is going to turn into moss, and it's going to accumulate over time if it's not looked at and taken care of. If you're noticing algae or moss built up on your roof, you should definitely give us a call. Let us inspect it. Typically, anytime you start to notice algae or moss, it's about time to start thinking about replacement. Typically, a house under a lot of tree cover is going to hold more moisture. You know, the sun can't get to those shingles and it's not going to evaporate the water or the majority of the water that's sitting on the roof. And then over time, it seeps into the shingle and it starts to decay it and grow algae and moss. I don't recommend pressure washing roofs. You know, if the guy pressure washing it doesn't know what he's doing, he could end up blowing a hole through your shingles and throwing granules all over the place and actually voiding all your manufacturer's warranties. So pressure washing is not always the way to go. Even when it comes to cleaning a roof, if it's not cleaned according to how the manufacturer says clean it, you're going to void that warranty. Like I said, you get somebody up there with a pressure washer and they blow holes through the shingles, the manufacturer's not going to cover that.